Welcome, welcome, my beautiful YouTube family. Just getting our space clear here because I did just record about a 40-minute message, a little over 40 minutes, I think, for the Patreon community. So know that if my message sings to you, speaks to you, something resonates for you here, you would like to hear more from me, deeper messages, further messages, longer messages, more frequent messages, whatever, you could join us there. And when you join, you get access to my most recent message, plus all of my previous content I've been sharing in there for years. So a link for the Patreon community will be in the pinned comments below, as well as the description box. Just gonna give it a moment or two here to see if any friends hop on with us. Then we'll tap into the collective energies here. See what we can know. Much shifting. Those of us who are energy sensitive, and even those of us who aren't aware are feeling this. We might just not be aware of why we are feeling the things, but we feel the shifts before we see them, and the energy has definitely shifted. And that forward momentum is going to continue to be a theme all throughout the year here. In a few weeks here, we begin the year of the fire horse. On the same day as a solar eclipse, I believe, a new moon solar eclipse. So all things shifting and everything pointing to that. If you feel yourself kind of going through a final clearing, final sweep, if you will, know that these are the last few weeks of the snake year here, and you're right on time, no matter what you are feeling. Congratulate yourself for being willing to see the things, to being willing to feel the things. If you're being shown the things, know that you're ready here. 6 of Wands, victory, and know that you are strong enough to withstand the storm. It reminds me of that quote, something along the lines of, they told her she wouldn't survive the storm, and she said, I am the storm. So let's just tap into that energy, see what we can know, see what more I can tell the beautiful collective. If you are hoping to receive a personal message here, something that makes sense for your own situation, you could drop a comment, you could make that intention known, you could say it out loud to yourself, you could just make your request or your question known energetically. You could like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video. These are all ways to contribute your energy, and also helps to get the messages out there, grow our community here, greatly appreciated. And also you'll be notified when I go live again with more recent updates. You'll be the first to be notified here. Love this. We have the Tower and the High Priestess. The Tower came through in Patreon as well. So I just want to get a little bit of a clarifier on this. But that, honestly, that Tower energy speaks on whatever you're feeling is just right? This final sweep energy, this final clearing energy, final clearing of the snake year here. And I just burped here too, so burp for confirmation. And the High Priestess, what's falling, what's crumbling, what's dissolving is all of the things that keep you from knowing your power, keep you from accessing your inner wisdom, your inner guidance. So the things that could distract you, that could derail you, that could keep you tied up in situations that no longer serve you. I just saw 333. All things that keep you unaware of your power, that's what's being removed. Anything that keeps us small, keeps us feeling like a victim because we're being asked to step into our power here. Self-mastery energy. What have we learned? What have we healed over the last several months, years, decades for some of us, depending on how long you've been on this journey? And walking the talk, embodiment now. We've healed the childhood wounds. We've reconciled with ourselves. We've healed our past, tied up those loose ends, sealed up those energy leaks. So now we're ready to live from our power here. Kindness, compassion, those divine attributes. This can also signify reunion with another, right? As we rise, those that are meant to rise with us rise as well. So sometimes it can signify relationships or connections coming back around, but please understand that I'm never suggesting to reopen a toxic chapter, right? Or the way you will know if you're meant to reunite is if you have both evolved and expanded. Sometimes situations come back around just to show us how much we have grown as well. So remember that. Yeah. Transformation, death, evolution, expansion, death of an old identity, an old way of being, death of that victim mindset, stepping into our empowerment, right? Death of all things that don't again, that keep us from knowing and access to our own power. Let's get a card here from our balanced. Actually, let's get a spirit animal message first. Then we'll get a card from the balanced deck. Trusting the great mystery, trusting what we're being asked to release, and trusting what we feel, sense, right, and the energy that has not yet arrived. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. If you're just tuning in, you could say hello. You could let us know where you're tuning in from. You could share with us how you're feeling in these energies. Maybe you have something hopeful, insightful to share with another here. Being at home in our own skin. This is how we call back our power. This is how we live from this space. This is how we trust our intuition by, becoming and getting familiar with our body cues, what signs, signals, emotions mean for us, and then acting on them. Because we follow the signs. We don't get rewarded for our intuition before we follow it, but after. So, we don't get to see why we were guided to a place until after we have followed. But that's on that trusting ourselves, trusting life, trusting the divine. Sometimes life stings, we understand, right? That even the uncomfortable, especially those uncomfortable, painful moments are here to teach us something. Like, life is always providing situations, scenarios on a silver platter for us to recognize our power, for us to release what no longer serves, right? And again, being willing to look at that pain, those shadowy aspects of ourselves, isn't always comfortable, right? It can be painful, but that short-term pain leads to long-term freedom versus running from that pain and inevitably forevermore being stuck, because everywhere we go, there we are. So if we're running from what we're feeling and those hidden aspects of ourselves, we'll get exhausted real quick because we will continuously be looking to outrun ourselves, and it's not possible. Be playful. Yeah. Not taking life so seriously, understanding, on a human level, no one gets out of here alive. We all end up at the same place. We all come from the same source. We all are returning to the same source. And so understanding, yes, taking who we be, right? Like devotion to who we are, but return of that childlike wonder essence, right? You can be childlike without being childish. And the way we be playful, allow ourselves to be playful. Well, first of all, right, tune into your divine feminine energy. Allow yourself to be playful, to be silly, to, do the things that used to light you up as a child, and releasing outcomes, doing the thing just because. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for the love, friend. Love and light. And yeah, when we're being playful about it, right, like not taking things so seriously, releasing outcomes, understanding there is no destination, we're enjoying the journey, that allows the transformation to take place without us like clinging with our fingernails in, right? Like it can be joyful, or it can be, you can think of it as fearful, and it all depends on how you are choosing. It reminds me of that Trevor Hall song, Great Storm Clouds. It's like you can treat it like it's a heavy weight, or you can treat it like it's a dance. But if you dance through the obstacles, overcome any obstacle, it's a much more joyous experience here once we understand. It's like there's nothing to accomplish. I can't take anything with me anyway. So it's who I be, how I show up, the energy I leave. Like, you leave people better than when you found them, and this is your magic. This is your medicine. That's what I'm hearing right now, and that's the true goal. Oh, El Paso, I love that. I used to have a childhood friend, actually, a grade school friend. It's crazy because I live in the house right next to where she lived right now, but her family from El Paso moved here when I was in 5th grade. Beautiful family, beautiful area. I haven't been to El Paso, but I have, my aunt actually lives in Texas. Queen of Wands energy, focusing on our creations and being joyful about it, being playful about it, creating just for the fun of it, right? Understanding that to not create is to stifle our soul. It's a slow death, so we create just for the experience of it and for the pleasure of it, for the celebration, the joy. 4 of Wands energy, and we understand we aren't in charge of outcomes. And when we show up freely, not looking to achieve a certain thing or to be perceived in a certain way, that's when the outcomes can you know, surpass what we were even hoping for, what we can even begin to imagine, because we release that rigidity. Expansion or contraction, ask yourself that in every moment. Do I feel open or do I feel closed? And if you're feeling closed, check in with the situation. Is it something that doesn't serve you, or is it just your perception or your mindset that needs to shift about the situation? Let's get one affirmation for us here. But yeah, if you're wanting some personal guidance, wanting a personal reading, wanting to work with me one-on-one, if you're wanting access to the Inside Out Living Guide that I created, or if you are wanting to start your wellness journey, just drop a comment. Let me know and I'll be in touch. And thank you for being here. Thank you for your healing. Thank you for your contribution to the collective. You know, as you heal, as I heal, we all heal one by one. This is how, when the world heals, I heal. That's why, no, when I heal, the world heals. But that's why I love these messages so much. Yeah, I have my ideas, right? But then I get myself out of the way, and the messages that it's just amplification of the energy. Yeah, and I just saw 1111 here. So know that your healing matters. As you rise, we all rise. Trust that we are all connected by ways that we can't see, but we can feel. That's why you are able to feel the pain of others, right? Like your empathy. It's not a weakness. It's your strong suit, your ability to feel, your ability to witness and not look away, your ability to hold grief while simultaneously creating the new, understanding our part here, right? We all have a part to play in this inner revolution that's going to begin to, it began inner, right? But this inner revolution leads to us valuing different things mattering to us, and then taking action in ways that we feel called to do. But no, we each have our part to play here. No part is any smaller than the other, and we are all needed. So thank you for your service. It does matter. And maybe you don't have anyone in your life to tell you what you're doing matters. So I'm here to do just that. So with that, I'm sending so much love. Until next time, like I said, if you want to be notified when I go live again, be sure and subscribe to the channel. See you soon. Have a beautiful day. Blessed day.